Men only get married when they're ready and in phases. Brothers and sisters, pay very close attention. It's going to be a big aha moment. Men, you're going to understand your nature here. Why you think the way you think, why you are the way you are. Sisters, this might trigger you a little bit because in your mind you'd be like, I am not like this at all. Men are very different from women. What you can get out of this video is you will, one, understand the nature of men, but the biggest value you'll take out of this video is understanding that you won't get played after watching this video. You will know what man is actually ready, serious about marriage, and who is not. It's going to save you from heartbreak, it's save you from being led on, it's going to save you from a lot of trouble or even entering into a haram relationship, okay? So this is for the sake of Allah. Now understand one thing is that we are looking at the man's readiness and we're looking at phases, but before I go into this and articulate this to you, let's go over the female nature. Women will get married to a man that they actually like, and it does not matter what stage they are in life. They could be 18 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old. If they actually like the man, they are ready to get married. They are ready when they find the right man. A man that can lead them, that can protect, that can provide, that they look up to, a man that could teach them things, the man that fits their agenda for life. Let's say a sister wants to work a career and this man is okay because it fits into his ecosystem and his life. This is how women look at it. So they'll see, oh yeah, I found this right man. I'm ready to get married to him today. Men are not like that. A man can have a 10 out of 10 woman all across the spectrum. She could be the perfect woman, and he still won't get married to her if he is not ready and if he is not in a defined stage or phase in his life. Now let's define these terms. What does readiness mean to a man? A man is ready for marriage when he has confidence in his competence and his ability to protect, provide, and lead a woman. Let's repeat this one more time. He has confidence in his competence and his leadership skills in protecting and providing for a woman. Unless a man has this, he is not ready to get married. He is going to have cold feet. He is going to be worried. He is going to stress out. He's going to have a lot of doubts, and he is not going to be ready to get married. Okay, now this is the first thing. What's this whole phase issue? Well, men have different phases in which they get ready to get married. Now, I'm going to use myself as an example here to articulate this to you. Every man comes in different phases of life. He has phases of life when he's 18, 19, 20. He'll have phases in life when he's 25, 26, 27. Then he'll have phases in life as he's going upwards of 30 or even 30 plus. Maybe he's divorced. Maybe he's single. Maybe he's a student. Maybe he has a career. There are different phases of life for men. Now with me, the first time I ever wanted to get married as a man where I found myself in a phase and readiness was when I was 19, 20 years old. When I was 19, 20 years old, I wanted to build my empire, my $1 million business, and what I was looking for in that phase was a woman who could be my business partner. You've probably seen those couples on the internet, the influencers, and they're working on a business together, building an empire together. They even got the baby and they're taking meetings together. I wanted that type of woman. And those are the women that I found attractive. So any woman who was ambitious, who wanted this as well, I'd find her attractive. But I found out very quickly that this is a very small pool of women who actually want this. Most women generally just want to be protected and provided for in a feminine state. And I realized that pretty quickly because even the women that I spoke to who put on the front that, oh, this is what I want to be this business partner of yours, eventually said, I just really don't want to do all this work and I just want to be protected and provided for. So I'm like, you know what? I don't really want the business partner woman as I'm learning these masculine, feminine concepts as well. So I built my $1 million business by myself. At the age of 21, 22, after I became a millionaire, I decided, you know what? I'm ready to get married again. I have this business set up. Money's not a problem. I have my place. I have everything. Let me see if I could find a woman who, in this current phase of my life, can fit the mold. And this current phase, I didn't need a business partner. I was looking for a woman who wanted to be a mother, a wife, who wanted to take care of my home. But I did want a career-oriented woman, but a woman who just wanted a purpose in life, who wanted her own money that she worked for, and I wanted her to work in my own business. So I found women who had leadership skills and were ambitious, so I could plug her into my business, give her her own money. Her money is her money. She can do whatever she wants with it, and then I pay for the lifestyle. I protect and I provide, and I feel like a masculine man. Now this phase didn't last too long either, because 3 years later, the phase that I went into was I just want a feminine woman who does whatever I say. If I put on this, I say put on this dress, put on the dress. If I book some flights, we're going on a flight, we're going on a trip. She obviously has her own hobbies like pottery or painting, and she makes the house a home, a very feminine, beautiful woman who wants these things, to be a housewife, to be protected for, to be provided for. The typical housewife in a dress, all right? So that's the phases that I went into. You see these 3 different phases of readiness and how different they were? Men operate like this, and their phases are going to be very different, by the way. Some men are going to want to fulfill their desires, right? Because they have never touched a woman and they have those desires and they don't want to fall into haram, so they want to get married. Some men have built their whole life and they actually want a woman to come in and nurture what they've built. Some men are just simply lonely and they just want a woman in their life. Some men want a career woman because they can't handle the bills and the stresses of this life because the world is so expensive nowadays. I personally don't believe that, but some men believe that, and they want a woman who actually has a career and goes and works a 9 to 5 so that they can split the bills and do God knows what. Sisters, if you're watching this, the easiest question to ask a man to figure out what phase he's in life and if he's actually ready to get married is ask him this. Based off the current phase you are in your life, your whole circumstance, how do you even see me fitting into the picture? How do I fit into your ecosystem? What is it that you actually expect from me as a wife? And what role do you actually expect from me as a wife? And based off of his answer to this question, you'll have everything you need to know. If he can't even define the current phase of life that he's in, he's just playing you. He just wants to fill some sort of loneliness. He needs female companionship. These are the weakest of men, the men who can't sit in solitude, who constantly need a woman to talk to because they're just so lonely and they have no actual self-respect and self-worth to sit there and work and grind on their own and build something on their own. They constantly need a woman to validate them. You don't want to be with a man like that. This will give you a difference between those men and the men who actually are serious. Because when he is serious, what he's going to say is, you know what? Basically, I've built my business, and I'll give you like my example. I built my business to $1 million, and I do very well for myself. And I'm not looking for you to work. I'm not looking for you to do anything, but it would be nice if you actually wanted a passion or a drive, and I'd be able to plug you into my business, and you can lead one of the departments, and you could do that. And it would be amazing because I would pay you, and you would have your own money, and then you wouldn't have to tell me what you're doing with that money because it's your money, because your money is your money, and my money is our money. I would say that to her, and what I would expect is that you do that. Eventually we have kids, and then you become a mother, and then you transition into a full-time housewife. But if you still want to work after the kids get older, you can continue working in our businesses and our enterprises. You can stay at home, and that way you don't have to have a boss outside the house. You're working in our own company. This is our family business, and you could do that. So that would have been my 21, 22-year-old Share's face, right? That's how I would have articulated it. You see how easy that sounded? Oh yeah, I can see myself sitting behind that. If a man can't define that for you, trouble. So men, you have to be able to actually figure out what phase you are in life and how a woman contributes into that phase. And unless you can do that, you're actually not ready for marriage at all. You can't be speaking to women for the mere purpose of filling a void, right? Unless you have defined your current phase in life, and then you say that, you know what, I am ready. I can protect, I can provide, I can lead, I have confidence in my competence. Then you are ready to get married, and then you can actually go out and seek out these marriage proposals, actually speak to women about marriage. Sisters and brothers, listen to this as well. When you speak to the opposite gender about marriage, the conversation should simply be about values. You need to gauge for polarity, which means you need to gauge for attraction. Is he somebody who wants to be in a constant masculine, protecting, providing state? Or is he somebody who just wants to, sit around and do nothing, or, actually have me come in and contribute to the house financially? You need to look for these masculine and feminine polarities, right? If you can't figure out these masculine and feminine polarities, this is going to be a recipe for disaster, because masculine and feminine polarities is what creates attraction to begin with. So values will be number one. Where do you guys align in deen? Where do you guys align in the dunya? Where do you guys align in raising kids? Where do you guys align in the community? Where do you guys align in friendships and hanging out with people outside of the home? Where do you guys align with social media, right? And then you look for polarity. What is the actual masculine and feminine role that this person wants to carry? Now, I'm always in support of the traditional masculine man and feminine woman within a relationship, right? But like I said in some of my other videos, a man should have feminine sides to him and a woman should have masculine sides to him outside of the relationship, so that they can actually live in those energies and complete their energetic fields. And define your phases, define what phase you are in life, define your readiness. And sisters, you need to ask the question, what is the current phase that you are in life? Are you ready to get married? How do you see me fitting into this phase of yours? How do you see me fitting into your ecosystem in your life so that I can actually bring value to the table and we can have a complete family? If he cannot answer that question, then you got to walk away and go find somebody who can.